Welcome to Rags to Riches. In this series, I'll stop you from looking like this and get you looking like this, with as much money to buy as many businesses, supercars, and yachts as you like. GTA Online can be insanely confusing, so I've put my whole Rags to Riches series in one video so that this is the only video you ever need to watch in order to understand what is going on in GTA Online and how to make money fast. So let's not waste any time, let's get you rich and let's start a new character. This is Juan. Juan is a level 1. So Juan, let's get straight into Los Santos. Alright, here we are, lovely afternoon, at least I hope it's afternoon. And look at that, we've already got over $10,000 from Rockstar. So first thing we're gonna do is we need two things, a vehicle and some weapons. So let's go make a little bit of money so we can afford those things. Now if you have $0, there are 5 different things that you can do to make money immediately. One of them is the stash houses. You can do these once per day, they'll be on your map with this logo here. So I'm gonna steal a car and drive over there while I explain the other 4. The other thing you can do is the G's Cash. These also are available once a day, and you can find them with this logo here on your map. All you need to do is go to that location, search within the circle for the beeping package, pick it up, and you'll get about $20,000. You could also go over and do the Junk Energy time trial with this logo here on your map. You can also do these once a day. Completing these will get you $50,000. Next, you can go to the Diamond Casino over here on the map and spin the lucky wheel. You can win a lot of things from this, like RP, chips, cash, and even a car. And then finally, you can do your Junk Energy skydives. 10 of these will spawn around the map every day, and if you complete all of them, you'll get $150,000. But that one probably takes the most time. So here we are at the stash house. Now, we could use those other methods, but this is going to be enough to get us on our way for today. So we'll go inside, take these guys out. Okay, this guy's being a bit difficult. Now we're looking for a code. It should be on a little sticky note. Here it is. Okay, 79, 77, 73. Let's go put that in. Now we just need to escape. Okay, and as we escape here, we should get $30,000. Now, for experienced players, this isn't going to give you $30,000. That's probably because you already own a business. If you own a business, instead of giving you a lot of money, it's actually going to completely resupply one of your businesses, which is actually kind of better, but we don't have a business yet, so we're going to use this money. Okay, now that we have the money, let's go to Ammunation and pick up a couple of weapons. Now, for beginners, the 2 I'm going to recommend are a carbine rifle here. We'll buy some attachments as well. That's going to be our main gun, and then we're also going to buy a mini SMG because this is a one-handed weapon, and for now this is the best weapon we can use while shooting out of a car. On to the next step. What we want to do is get ourselves a garage. This is so we can store our vehicles, and nowadays you can actually get this garage here for free in Dynasty 8. So just go into the website, sort from lowest to highest price, and pick up this 2-car garage. It's not much, but it'll do for now. Okay, so now we actually need a car. For now, what we're going to do is just steal a car off the street and make it our own. So just look in the area around you, try and find the fastest looking car. We'll just take the Chevrolet Fugitive here. Now let's take this into Los Santos Customs, put a tracker on it and a full coverage as well, so it's our personal vehicle. Now I know what you're thinking, TGG, but this car sucks. I want a supercar. I know, me too. But don't worry, we're not going to be using this car for long. It's just the car we're going to use for like the next couple of hours. By the end of this video, we're going to get a free supercar, and for anyone playing on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, we're also going to get a basically free HSW car as well, so stick around. Now, just before, we got a phone call from Vincent telling us to start up the Cluckin farm raid, and this is going to be our first step to making some serious money. So we're going to go and do this. To start this up, go over to the left side of Los Santos here where the letter V is on your map. All right, here we are. And while this cutscene goes on, I'll explain what on earth we're doing and how much money we're going to make from this. This is the Cluckin farm raid. It was introduced in March 2024, so it's very new. And this is now the best way to make money in the entire game for low-level players. So what's the plan? Well, the Cluckin farm raid is basically a mini heist, and to complete it, we need to complete 5 setup missions and then a finale. Now, I'll show you the fastest way to do it in just 1 second, but a couple things you need to know about this is it's gonna pay you $500,000. If you follow this method, it should take you less than 1 hour, hopefully, and it also has a 48-minute cooldown. So we'll talk talk about that after we finish it. But quickly, one more thing we want to do before we actually start the first setup mission. Head over to Premium Deluxe Motorsport on your map over here. Now, we're not going to be buying a car. Don't worry, we don't need the money for that just yet. But what we are going to be doing is going over to this table here and picking up all of the snacks we can. That's because they're free here, and snacks are the way you heal yourself in GTA Online. So, we're going to need these, and we're going to need to come back and restock these after every couple of missions. Okay, so let's head back to the Vespucci police station, go into this marker here, and start up the mission called Slush Fund. Vincent wants us to steal some cash to set up the Cluckin farm raid. So we have to go to point A and point B and steal some money. Sorry fellas, you wouldn't believe me, but it's actually a cop telling me to come and kill you, so sorry about that. It's so nice that these guys just sort of wait and watch you. You know, you wouldn't want to kill someone while they're stealing money. That's not very nice. And thank you for waiting, buddy. Here you go. Take this one. Oh, there's a lot of guys here. Okay, I'm not going to kill them all. Let's just go inside. Yoink again. Now let's take this back to Vincent. One down. Now for all of these missions, the process is just going to be the same. As soon as you finish one mission, we just have to go back to the police station and start up the next one. And let's move on to the next mission, breaking and entering. So straight away, we have two things that we need to do. We can go to the terabyte or the laptop. It's going to be much faster to go to the laptop first. So let's head over there now. Now, when you get here, Vincent is going to send us a photo, as you can see right here, of the person we're looking for. And I think we may have just found him right here. Okay, that's very lucky. Let's take this laptop. But if for whatever reason you can't find him, trust me, I know this is crazy, but if you just start shooting people on the pier, like just start unloading into everyone, the person you're looking for is actually going to pop up red on your map. So as crazy as it sounds, that's actually the fastest way to find the guy you're looking for. And this guy is pissed. Sorry, dude. I'm not going to take you out. I wouldn't kill innocent civilians. All right, let's move over to the terabyte. All right, it's going to be in this big circle somewhere. Here it is. Now, we need to take out a bunch of drones. This is why we got the special carbine. It's going to be good for this thing. They shouldn't normally kill you, but if you're not paying attention, they definitely can take you out, so just be careful here. Now let's go inside. Take this hacking device. Thank you very much. And now in 1 second, Vincent is going to give us a new waypoint. There we go. We need to go to the cartel's compound and steal a train. If it's your first time through, just take this slow and steady. Just take the guys out one by one. Take cover, use snacks if you need to. And one of these guys is going to drop a key for us. Alright, there it is. Let's pick this one up. Take out the guys at the front of the train here, and let's hop in. Now this bit's pretty fun, so we're just going to drive the train, pretty straightforward of course, and once we get to these red circles, we just need to hack them with right on the D-pad. There we go. Also in this part, just make sure you try and take out the guys on the back of the pickup trucks. They're going to do the most damage. I just don't understand why you would park a helicopter in front of a train. I don't know how you think that's going to work, dude. Alright, another mission down. Back to the police station, and we're on to the next one. Let's do concealed weapons. Now, in this mission, there's 3 different locations you can steal weapons from. We're gonna go get loadout A, just because it's the quickest and easiest. And the way we're setting this up, the finale is gonna be very easy, trust me. So loadout A will get us a compact rifle, a combat pistol, a mini SMG, a crowbar, and some Molotovs, as well as light armor for the finale. The loadout's not great, but it's gonna be just fine. Now, if you did want to go and get the other loadouts for whatever reason, these are the loadouts you can expect to get. Loadout B will get you a heavy rifle, a tactical SMG, a heavy shotgun, some pipe bombs, and some medium armor. And loadout C is actually a military kit, so this is going to get you a machine gun, an AP pistol, combat shotgun, grenades, and heavy armor. This is the loadout I would recommend if you're trying to do the finale loud and aggressive, but we're going to be doing it silent and sneaky, and it's going to be much easier this way, so option A is going to be fine. Alrighty, we've got a bit of a shootout here. Let's be careful, take our time. Excuse me, buddy. Now let's run up here and steal this gear. Are we clear? I think we're clear, we're good. Alright, so it's gonna be in the back of one of these trunks. There she is, we got it. Let's take these back to Vincent and move on to the next one. Now, once you get here, you will actually need to text Vincent, just like I'm doing here. You're going to need to confirm the loadout that you've chosen, as well as the armor that you've chosen as well. You can choose to get multiple armor and gear if you want. There's no real point to this, but if you do want to do it, you can change whichever loadout you want once you get to the finale. But yeah, as I said, not really worth it. On to the next mission, hit and run. Now, yet again, we have 3 options. We can go to A, which is going to be the easiest and give us the worst vehicle. We can go to B, which is going to give us a faster vehicle, and then we can go to option C, which will get us a military vehicle. And again, just like the weapons, option A is going to be the quickest and easiest to get done. If you want to go to option B and get a fast car, absolutely go do it. That's up to you. But trust me, once we get to the finale, no cops are even going to be on us at all. We're going to be in and out. It's going to be super easy. So option A is just going to be the fastest. All right, once we get here, we need to look for the power box. It should be up here. Now we need to deliver this vehicle to the Cluckin farm garage. So what you want to do here is actually very simple. To avoid any enemies chasing you, just drive up onto the train tracks right here. And you can actually just follow these train tracks all the way to the garage we're trying to get to. That's why I recommend getting vehicle A. It's just so quick, so easy, no enemies are going to chase you. It's awesome. Just like the weapons, we will need to text Vincent and confirm the one that we've chosen. And after that, we'll just leave the area and we're done. Okay, on to disorganized crime, the final setup mission. So first thing we need to do is go and hack 2 vehicles. All right, first one down. All right, here's the second one. Let's hack these guys. Now, once the hack is complete, you'll see they'll actually stop their car here. We'll just take these guys out. You don't need to do this, but I'm just going to show you for the sake of showing you. They're going to drop a Cluckin farm outfit, so go put this on if you want. It's just going to make you a bit more disguised once we get to the warehouse here. So let's head over there now. Now, this is the most important part of all of the setup missions we've done. There are 4 things that we need to do here. If we fail to do any of them, the finale for this raid is going to be loud, and we don't want that. We want to do the finale in stealth, so we need to do all of these 4 things. Step 1 is find the keycard. That's pretty obvious. We'll get to that in a second. Step 2 is we need to take out all of the witnesses. Step 3, we need to sabotage all of the trucks. Keep in mind that we need to sabotage them, not blow them up. And then step 4, we need to wipe the CCTV footage. Failing to do any of these will screw up the finale, so let's make sure we do this right. Now, once we get inside here, make sure you're using a weapon that has a suppressor on it. Now, you can try and do this in stealth and make sure you don't get detected. If you want to do that, fine. I've done guides on that before. But what's actually going to be quickest here is just running in and taking out absolutely everyone as fast as possible. The reason I say that is no matter what you do, you're going to have to take out witnesses at the end. There's nothing you can do from stopping these additional enemies from spawning in. So we may as well go in guns blazing. And at this point, all you need to do is make sure that you kill all of the enemies before this timer expires. If you do that successfully, the timer will just disappear and we can move on to the next steps. So remember, we have 3 other things that we need to do. Wipe the CCTV footage, and we can do that by going in here. Sabotage all of the trucks. We can do that by walking up to them and sabotaging them. And then finding the keycard. To do this, we need to drill some lockers. So there's 2 spawn locations for the drill, one of which is over in this wall here. From there, we just go through, drill all of these boxes until we find the keycard. Now, you can keep drilling and drill all of them if you want. There is going to be a little bit of extra cash in these boxes. It's up to you if you want to do it. It's only going to give you a couple $1,000. Not really worth it, so we're just going to move on. Once you get outside, you'll know that you've successfully done this in stealth if a truck with a flatbed on the back spawns nearby. If you've got that, hop in the truck and we're going to deliver it back to Vincent. Now we're on to the finale. So I'm going to walk you through step by step how to complete this as safe and easy as possible.
Should I have added air holes? Cluck twice if you're in trouble. Okay, good. Now remember, when you burst out of that crate, you'll be in the heart of that operation. How you choose to use the element of surprise is up to you. This is it. Good luck.
Obviously, first thing you want to do is equip the gun that has the suppressor on it, and we're just going to make our way through this first room, taking out these 3 enemies in this order. Now we want to shoot this fuse box, make our way through the door, and quickly headshot this guard here before he can react.
I've bribed some friends in
Now we just gotta clear the rest of the hallway in this order. As we get closer, the two guys at the end of the hallway are gonna walk away, and we're gonna insert the keycard to the door at the end of the hall. Take out these three guys and steal all of the coke.
Eyes on the product. Don't hold back.
Make our way back out, make our way through the next door, take out these two guys. Now be careful, sometimes a guard can walk through this door. If he does, just take him out as well. But he's not coming through right now, so we're just going to go through to the other coke storage area. Take out these two guards. And then take all of the coke from these crates. Now that we're back in the main area, this desk here is one possible spawn location for the office keys. So we're going to grab these ones. I'll show you the other one in a second. Now, there's going to be two guards in this next room. Just make sure that they're not looking at each other. And then take them out one by one. Also in this room, this is the second office key spawn location. So if it didn't spawn in the first spot, it would be here. And we'll make our way into the final room. Again, just make sure the guards aren't looking at each other. Then take them out one by one. Now we'll head into the office and start the hack on the computer.
Okay, here we go. Connect to the computer.
And we're going to use the hacking device to find the correct locations of the computers that we need to go to. Pretty straightforward, just go to the one that it's telling you to go to. And once we've done all three, as you can see, we look at our hacking device, you can see the code for the safe right here.
The code to the safe should be on the hacking device.
Okay, getaway time. The alarm is going to go off no matter what here, but that's fine. You haven't been detected yet. So we'll make our way outside.
Okay, I'm listening. They're shutting down most of the roads leading away from the factory. Fortunately.
And just follow the path that I go on. So we want to take out this first guy behind the truck. Take out this guy. Take out that guy. Then there's two more enemies we need to take out here. The first one's going to be on our garage door. So get rid of him. And then there's going to be one more guard here. Just wait till he turns around and actually walks towards us a bit. If you take him out where he's standing right there, another guard is actually going to see his dead body, which we don't want. So just wait till he walks towards us a bit. Now we can head into the garage, get our car. And now we're going to turn right. Line up a headshot on this cop that for some reason is on the train tracks. Then we're going to drive and follow the train tracks all the way to Sandy Shores. Once we get to this point, hop off the train tracks and just lose the cops. Just go off-roading. It should be very simple. There's no point trying to lose the cops in the top half of the map. It's actually impossible. The game just won't let you lose them. But once you get to here, it should be very straightforward. Lose the cops and then deliver the cash to Vincent.
This deep fried meat paste makes me weak.
And there we go, we're $500,000 richer, plus the first time through you're going to get an extra $250,000 as a first time bonus. But as I said, we are going to have a 48-minute cooldown on this one, but that's fine because there are some other really important things that we need to do next. And for anyone playing on PS5 and Xbox Series X or S, our next step is going to be getting a better car. If you aren't playing on PS5 or Xbox Series X or S, skip ahead to the timestamp on your screen now, because this step you just can't do. It's pretty useful, but it's not essential, so I've made this guide with that in mind. Okay, so if you're on PS5 or Xbox Series X and S, let's keep going. Our next step is going to be getting an HSW vehicle, and we're going to be able to do this for pretty much free, which is awesome. First thing we want to do is go to Hal's Garage right here on the map and complete the time trial that he gives us. It's pretty straightforward. You should be able to do it first go, so go ahead and do that. And when you're done, Hal will actually give you the ability to upgrade a car from a normal vehicle to an HSW vehicle for free the first time you do it, which is huge because normally this costs like over $1 million. Okay, but what is an HSW vehicle and how do I get one? Well, a Hal's Special Works vehicle is a vehicle that can be upgraded with HSW upgrades to make it a lot faster than any other vehicle. You can do this in the LS car meet by paying for the upgrade, which we won't have to do for the first one. And how do we get one? Well, there's only a certain amount of vehicles that can be upgraded to HSW vehicles. A lot of them you have to buy, but the one we're going to be getting today you can actually find on the street for free, but it's kind of hard to do. So let's go do that now. Here's how you do it. Now, it needs to be nighttime. It needs to be between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. And the car we're looking for is a Sentinel XS, but there's only one spot that it can spawn. So it only spawns between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. right around this area here. The easiest place to find it is actually at this exact intersection. So as the clock hits 10 p.m. here, what we're going to do is just drive around the block and keep coming back to this intersection until we get the vehicle to spawn. Is it here? No. Okay, we're going to do a loop and we'll come back. All right, please be here. Please be here. Come on. Yes, that's the one! We got it, second go. Okay, now the one we got here is green. It can also spawn in purple, so keep your eye out for that. This car in 2 different colors. Now what we want to do is go and insure it at an LS Customs and make it a personal vehicle. And then after that, we're going to take it to the LS car meet. So let's head down there now. So the LS car meet is down here on your map. The first time you head in, you're going to get this long cutscene. And then in order to customize your car, you're also going to need to head over to Mimi here and buy an LS car meet membership for $50,000. It's unfortunate, but there's no way around it. Just gotta do it. All right, we want to upgrade it to HSW. That's gonna be free. Let's go. Okay, now there's also a couple of other HSW upgrades we can put on it. These are gonna be pretty expensive. If you can afford them, I would actually put as many HSW upgrades on as you can, because for our next step, we're actually gonna be using this car for time trials to earn more money, so you want it to be as fast as possible. Okay, so what are these time trials? Well, if we hop outside and go on our map, we can see 2 different weekly time trials. The first is just a normal time trial. This is going to give us $100,000 if we complete it in the time that we need to, and you can do that once per week. This one here though is an HSW time trial. This will also change location once per week, and you can only get the bonus payment once per week. So the normal time trial will get you $100,000, but this one will actually get you $250,000. So if we go and do both of these time trials each week, that's $350,000 for not much work. So I'm going to go ahead and do this HSW time trial now. Okay, we should do this with a lot of time to spare. I made this look kind of easy. I know we cut out a lot here. I actually did fail this a few times. You probably are going to fail it a couple times while you're learning the route that you need to go. It also helps if you put a waypoint on the end so that you know exactly where to go, and there we go. Okay, $250,000 in the bank. Nicely done. Let's move on to the next step. Now what we're going to do is our first dose story missions. This will give us 2 things. The first time through all of these missions, we're going to get a bonus $50,000 at the end of every mission, plus $250,000 after we complete the last one, which will give us $500,000. So that's pretty nice. That's going to be an easy way for us to make money. But the second thing it's going to do is at the end of these missions, we're going to get the Brigade 6x6 for free. Now, this is awesome because we can install an acid lab in the back of this, which is going to give us our first business, but it's going to save us a ton of money from not having to actually buy the Brigade 6x6 ourselves. So how do we start up these missions? The first thing you need to do is go out to the letter R on your map way out here for Ron. Make sure it's this one. There might be a couple of letter ours, you want to go to this one specifically, and that's going to start up the very first mission. I'm not going to walk you through how to complete all of these contact missions. They are pretty straightforward, and you should be able to complete them yourself, but I'll just cut to the end of the missions where you can see that the bonuses we're getting, and then I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, mission 1 down, we got our payment, and we should get 50,000 extra. There it is. Okay, boom. Now we just want to hang out around here until Dax calls us. There it is. Okay, now we just go to the letter D on our map and we can start up the next one. Keep in mind that there are 6 of these missions, so we're going to get a massive chunk of bonus money here. Let's move on to mission 2. Got to steal these party supplies. Yoink. Mission 2 down. Let's wait for our bonus payments. There it is. Nice. Mission 3. Another 50. Mission 4, another 50. Mission 5, 50k more. And now we've got mission 6 where we need to actually steal the Brigade 6x6. So let's deliver this back to the freak shop and then we'll talk about what to do next. Alright, mission passed and we've got the $250,000 bonus looking nice in the bank account. But what do we do next? So you'll see on your map here that there's 3 possible Acid Lab equipment locations that you can go to. You can pick any of these. I just go to the closest one to the freak shop, to be honest. So let's go do that now. Now that we're inside, we need to load these pallets onto the back of this truck. Just take your time with this. Enemies can spawn in and take you out if you're not careful. Alright, now we're going to deliver this back to the freak shop. All that's done. Now what we have to do is actually install the lab equipment that we just stole into the back of the Brigade 6x6. To do this, we have to go over to Mutt here in the freak shop, and unfortunately, we're gonna have to pay him $750,000, which is kind of most of the money we just made from these first dose missions, but trust me, in the long run, this is gonna be worth it. So, how does the Acid Lab work? Well, to put it simply, the Acid Lab has a supplies bar and a stock bar. We need to fill up the supplies bar. We can do this either by buying supplies for $60,000 or stealing them through a series of missions, and then over time, Mutt will turn those supplies into stock that we can eventually sell, and we'll do that at the end of this first episode. But we have no supplies, so we can either go to Mutt and buy supplies, or we can do a stash house. Now, if you remember back at the start of the video, I said the stash house will either give you money or it will resupply one of your businesses. And this is why we got the Acid Lab first, because now we can resupply our Acid Lab for free every single day by completing our daily stash house. Another thing you'll probably want to do is get the Acid Lab upgrades. The equipment upgrade will massively increase how much money your Acid Lab will create. But to do it, we need to complete 10 Fooligan jobs. So what is a Fooligan job? Well, this is a mission that you need to call Dax for, so go to your phone and call Dax and request a job. So let's go do that now. Completing this will give us $50,000, which is kind of nice, but it will have a 48-minute cooldown, which is not so nice. So from now on, I want you to complete one of these missions every 48 minutes until you have done all 10 and can buy the equipment upgrade for your Acid Lab. So keep that going in the background and we're going to move on to the next step. For us, the next step is pretty simple. It's run the Cluckin farm raid again. You know how to do it, so I don't need to walk you through it this time. Go over to the Vespucci police station and start up another one. Alright, this took about an hour, but here we are, we're about to finish this one. And all done, another 500,000 in the bank. Now we can move on to the next step, which is completing the last dose story missions. So we did the first dose earlier, and now we're gonna do the last dose missions. So to start these up, eventually along the way you would have gotten another phone call from Dax, and just go back to the free shop, enter the letter D, and start up these missions. Now, these ones aren't going to give you a business like the Acid Lab, but after every mission for the first time you do them, you will get $100,000. There's 5 of these, so again, that's $500,000 bonus total. And you're also going to get a free supercar at the end of it, which is a pretty big deal. So just like the first dose missions, I don't think you need me to walk you through them. Just race through these and let's head to the end. Okay, so we've done all the missions, we got our bonus money, we're on the very top of Mount Chiliad, and we're sitting just under $1.6 million. Okay, let's find a new session and teleport back to the freak shop. Now Dax is going to tell us to go pick up Dr. Friedlander's car, so let's go do that now. And boom, just like that, we have the option to make it our own personal car, and we've got a supercar for free. Awesome. Our next goal is going to be to buy the Kasatka submarine so that we can start up the Cayo Perico heist. But we need a little bit more money, so there's a couple things we can do. The first is we're going to go and sell our Acid Lab stock, so let's go do that now. And we need a bit more money, so we're going to run one more Cluckin farm raid, and that'll take us up to 2.2 million, which is going to be enough to buy the Kasatka submarine. So that marks the end of episode 1. In part 2 of Rags to Riches, we'll be completing the Cayo Perico heist, which is one of the best ways to make money in the entire game. And I'll cover absolutely everything from start to finish. Now, I am aware that you might not need help with every single part of the Cayo Perico heist, so there are timestamps and chapters in this video in case you only need help with a specific part. Okay, so how do we actually start the Cayo Perico heist? Well, you need to go over to the music locker, which is at the very back of the Diamond Casino. Going in here and walking down the stairs will put you into a cutscene, which acts as the intro for the Cayo Perico heist. After this cutscene, you can go into Warstock, Cash and Carry and buy your very own Kasatka submarine. Now, it is $2.2 million, which is pretty expensive, but it's gonna be worth it, don't worry, because this heist will make us over $1 million per run. As for the upgrades for your Kasatka, I wouldn't recommend really getting any of them except for the Sparrow if you can afford it. Right now, in this Rags to Riches series, we can't afford it, so we're gonna get that later. Once you've bought your Kasatka submarine, head into your interaction menu, go down to Service Vehicles, and click on Kasatka. Request your Kasatka, and it'll spawn in the ocean somewhere near you. For your first time through the Cayo Perico heist, we need to do the scope out, which is basically scoping out the island, figuring out what we can and can't do, which is gonna unlock different infiltration points for us for the finale. Now, this part of the Cayo Perico heist hasn't changed at all since last year in last year's Rags to Riches series, but there have been some other changes. But for now, let's just recap the scope out and get you up to speed if you aren't already. Once you finish all these cutscenes, we just need to get past this guard here. Now, if you walk right past him, he's going to tell you to turn around, so we kind of need to sneak around him, or we can wait for him to actually walk forward, which happens every so often, and then we can just walk behind him and walk out the gate. Okay, now that we're out, just follow this route that I'm going to show you here. So we're going to come up here to the right. Now we're going to have this first guard tower up there. We're going to run all the way and go through this little door. Alright, we're through. So we're going to go to the right here because there's a camera watching that way. And what we can do, check that there's no car coming, and there's no car, you can see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal this ATV, back it up, and drive right across here, dodging that camera. Now make sure that the guard in the guard tower on the right isn't looking this way as well, which he isn't right now, so we're going to gun it across here. Alright, we're good. First thing we need to do is get to the compound of El Rubio. After your first completion, you'll just need to get to the communications tower up there, but we have to get to the actual compound and scope it out on our first time. So just follow this route that I'm doing here. This is one of the most easiest ways. You can really do whatever you want, but if you want to not get detected, I'm not going to get detected on this run, so just copy what I do. Alright, so I like to head up to basically where the communications tower is, and then slowly go down to the compound. Make sure that guard doesn't see us because he's about to turn around. Drive slowly, try not to run into any bushes or anything. Like, okay, well, I've just done that. This ATV is really not handling the ground as well as I thought it would, but that's okay. Alright, there's a compound entrance. How far down do we need to get? Right here, okay. So there's the compound. Now we're going to turn around and go back up to that communications tower. Just take the same route, dodging that guard that's in the tower there. We should turn around at some point here. Hey buddy, come on, we've got things to do. And dude, these trees do my head in. Come on, up we go. Come on. That's the way, lad. Oh, see, that's why you should probably drive a bit slower. Alright, once we're here, we'll go in this gate and we're looking for the communications signal box thing. Sometimes it can spawn on the ground, but it hasn't this time, so we'll climb up. And it can spawn on any of the levels of this tower. Could be on the first level, could be on the top level. So just keep an eye out, you'll hear it as well. And it's right here on the first level, easy. Alright, we'll open this, and then we just need to do a little bit of algebra. So I hope you didn't skip your math class today, because... Alright, so that's times 1, times 2, and times 5. So we need a times 10, sorry. Times 10, times 1, and then times 2 gets us 59. Easy. Okay, once we're here, we're gonna go into Sightseer on our phone. I'm not gonna try and spoil this for you, but you do get like a mini cutscene, so we'll skip past this. Okay, once you finish that cutscene, what I actually want you to do is go through all of the cameras and scroll all the way from right to left or left to right. Here we are in the basement though. We need to go all the way to the left because the first time we do this heist, we're gonna get the Madrazo files. There they are. Alright, we scoped out the primary targets. Now what I would recommend doing is just going left to right, like I said, through all of these cameras. You're going to see a lot of secondary loot that we won't actually be able to get as a solo player because you need 2 key cards to enter these rooms, so you need at least 2 players. That's fine, this heist is actually more profitable as a solo player anyway, so don't worry about it. And the reason I want you to do this is not actually to scope out these secondary targets, but once you get outside, it's going to scope different entry points into the compound for you. So as you can see here with the north gate, we scroll all the way to the left, and we just scoped out an entry point there. We'll go north wall. Go all the way to the right, and there's another compound entry point. So basically just do that. You'll only have to do this once, and then you will remember all of these points. After that, Pavel's going to tell you to go to the north dock, which is kind of annoying because we won't actually be using the north dock for the way that we're going to do the Cayo Perico heist today. But anyway, just go there, do what he tells you to do, and then what I want you to do after that is actually steal one of these dinghies here. Once you've got the dinghy, I want you to drive it all the way around here, where I'm placing this waypoint, right out front of the compound in the water here. This is because we're going to scope out the drainage tunnel. Now, you don't actually scope this out by taking a photo of it. You do it by swimming underwater where the drainage tunnel is. So follow what I do here and you'll scope it out. Then I want you to drive all the way around to the main dock over here. Take a photo of this entrance, make sure that it pops up as you scoping out the main dock. This is actually where we're going to enter for the Cayo Perico heist. So you need to take a photo of it in order to actually enter here. Next, I want you to head back to the airstrip back at the top of the map. Go into this building here, this hangar sort of thing. I guess it's a hangar, right? And once we're in here, we want to take a photo of all of this secondary loot. So we've got some green stuff there and some cash. So we'll take a photo of that. You do have to take a photo of each individual item as well. It won't just take a photo of both of them. Send both of those to Pavel. Then we're going to jump up on this box, jump up here. This is where we can scope out some more stuff. So we got a bit more cash and coke. So that's the best. Coke is going to pay the most. Beautiful. So in terms of how much they're going to pay you for loot that you can get solo, coke is going to be the best, then it's going to be the green stuff, and then cash pays the least. I've done a complete breakdown where I broke down the profits for every single one as well, including gold and artwork, so check that out. That's a video for a separate occasion. This is just our first time through. After you've scoped those two out, we're going to run over here. That's because more secondary loot can spawn in this shack here. We didn't get any, that's okay. We've still got coke, some green stuff, and some cash we can grab over there. Once that's done, you're gonna have to take a photo of the control tower as well. So do that, then head back to the pilot and head back to the city. Alright, scope out is done, but there's a couple tips I want to give you before we move into the setups. Number 1, head into your interaction menu, go down to preferences, and change your spawn location to the Kasatka. This means anytime you change lobby, it'll just teleport you immediately to your Kasatka submarine, so you don't have to drive all the way across the map. Number 2, you don't need to swim or drive your Kasatka to land every time. In your interaction menu, go down to service vehicles, click on Kasatka, and you can actually just request a dinghy. That's going to spawn right next to you wherever you are, which makes it very easy to get to and from your submarine. Of course, eventually we will buy the Sparrow helicopter, which will make this a lot easier, but for now, this will do. Now it's time to actually do the setups. So let's head back to our planning board, and you can see we have a lot of different preps to choose from. This board can be a little bit confusing, so let me clarify a few things. For your approach vehicles, it shows you 0 out of 5, but you only need to choose 1. We'll do that in just 1 second. For the equipment, there's 4 different ones to choose from. However, there's only going to be 4 if you actually scoped out the drainage tunnel. Scoping out the drainage tunnel lets you unlock the cutting torch in the equipment tab, which is a much easier, quicker, and quieter method than the demolition charges. So even though there's 4 different options in here, we only have to do 3. Also in the equipment tab, you'll either have safe codes or plasma cutter. You'll have one or the other depending on what you get in the vault. If you have a plasma cutter, it means you have to cut into the glass and steal something. If you have safe codes, it means you have to break into the safe. Anyway, that'll make sense as you get into the heist. For your weapon loadout, you only have to choose one weapon loadout, of course. And then for your disruption, there's 3 different options to choose from, and you don't actually have to do any of them. These are all completely optional missions that will just make the finale a little bit easier, but as you'll see once we get to the finale, they're not really worth doing. So let's get started with the approach vehicles, and as of right now, the easiest and fastest vehicle to use in my opinion is the Longfin. So let's get started. And our submarine's on the wrong side of the map. Okay, so what we want to do is sit down in the driver's seat of the submarine here, and press the fast travel button. It'll be on the bottom right of your screen. Now we want to move the submarine closer. Vespucci Beach is a very close location. Now this is going to cost $10,000 the first time you do it. After that, it's only going to cost $2,000. It'll be worth it though with how much time you save, so don't worry about the cost. We're going to be making a lot of money very soon. Okay, now we need to go steal a truck cab. There's 2 different locations we can go. One of them will only have 1 truck that's going to have like a massive ram on the front of it, and the other one will have 2 trucks that are just normal trucks. I'm just going to get a normal truck. It's a bit closer, it's a lot easier to get because the other one is very protected. There's lots of enemies there, and it's just not going to be worth it. The normal truck will be completely fine. Alright, let's take this one and head over to the police station. Excuse me, cops, I'll be taking this Longfin. Okay, now we have to lose the cops. You don't actually need to do this though. A much quicker way of losing the cops is actually just jumping out of the truck and blowing yourself up. Seems strange, I know, but it's going to lose the cops immediately, and it's just a lot quicker. Alright, let's get back in and deliver this Longfin. Drive it in here, and that will be our first setup done. Once this is done, make sure you've got your spawn location as your Kasadka again, and then we'll just find a new lobby, preferably an invite-only lobby. It'll be a lot easier and safer, and instead of having to drive back to the submarine, this will just teleport us right there. Okay, next setup we have to do is safe codes. This one's very straightforward. Head into the Diamond Casino, and the guy we're looking for kind of looks a bit like a cowboy. He's got a cowboy hat on, wearing a suit. Be careful in these rooms though, these enemies will take you out very quick. Make sure to use your snacks. Alright, he's down, we'll loot him. Now let's get out of here and move on to the next setup. Alright, onto Fingerprint Cloner. This one again, very simple. We just have to go to 2 different locations. This first room is going to have 4 guys inside. Take your time here. Again, these guys are very dangerous. Then we'll hack this computer. All done. Alright, head over to the next location. Grab the cloner, head back to the submarine, and we're done. Okay, now we're on to Cutting Torch. This is going to let us break in through the drainage tunnel, which is very quick and easy. So we need to head over to the construction site over here. Now at every construction site, there will be a hard hat that you can put on to blend in. So let's do that. Got to search all the toolboxes, and here it is. Okay, moving on to weapon loadout. The one I'm going to recommend getting is Aggressor. This will give us an assault shotgun and a machine pistol, 2 very good weapons. And don't worry about buying suppressors just yet. You don't need to buy them. You can just add them for free at the finale screen later on, so don't worry about that. Now with your weapon loadouts, there's 2 different setup missions that you can get. One of them will take you to a building. The other one will take you to Merryweather HQ. You can do whichever one you want, but the Merryweather HQ one is going to take way longer. So if you do get the Merryweather HQ one, I would just recommend finding a new session immediately, teleporting to your submarine and trying again. Okay, this time we got the building, so let's head over there and do it. Now we just need to break in here. If you do have a helicopter as well, you can land it on top of the building and enter through the roof, but we don't have one yet, so we're just going to go through the ground. Okay, now that we're inside, all of the enemies will be alerted because we took out the guys out front, but that's okay. Again, just take this slow and steady and you'll be just fine. All right, all done. Let's hack into the computer and steal the weapons. Okay, now we're on to the finale. It's time to get paid. So let's set this heist up properly so that it's as easy as possible. Our approach vehicle will be the Longfin, infiltration point will be the main dock, compound entry point is drainage channel, escape point can be anything, it doesn't matter, we're actually not going to use this one. Time of day can be either, daytime will be a little bit easier to see, and for your weapon loadout choose Aggressor and make sure you click suppressors as well. That's very important. Now I'm going to walk you through this heist step by step so that you can complete it easily without getting detected. So the first thing you want to do is take your longfin to the airstrip, because this should be the location that you scoped out your secondary targets, so you should know which locations you're trying to go to here to get your loot. Now for me, this time I got lucky and all of them are in the same hangar, so we don't have to go to 2 locations, so this will be a very easy run. First thing to do is take this guy out. Now we want to make sure he gets as far left as possible here. The reason for that is because there's now a car that comes through this area, and a couple years ago Rockstar made a change so that guards can actually now detect dead bodies. So we need to take this guy out exactly here so that the car that comes through here doesn't see his body. Alright, now we're going to head inside the hangar, get our loot, and then I'll talk to you once we get to the compound. Also again though, with your loot, make sure you're prioritizing the higher value loot first. So remember, coke pays the most, weed pays the second most, and cash pays the least if you're solo. Alright, now that we're inside the compound, this is the easiest route to take. It's not quite the quickest, it's a couple seconds slower than another one, but this is going to be the easiest. So run all the way across here, head left, avoid those guards' line of sight there, jump over this little fence. Now we want to walk up these stairs, but just wait until that guard turns around. He did, easy. Now we do want to take him out, but we want to make sure he actually completely stops. Okay, there he is. Now we can take him out. And he dropped the gate keys for us. That's awesome, actually. We'll use those in just 1 second. We'll take this guy out too. Now that we're running up these stairs, this second guard is going to move. But we're going to run straight at him up these stairs. And punch him. Easy. Right, we're going to head into El Rubio's office. This is a hidden wall safe back here. We're going to open this one up. Walk inside, and there you go. We got like, what was that, 50 or 60k? Now this keypad here is what you would normally have to use. You'll have to basically decode 3 different fingerprints, but because we got the gate keys, we can actually go to the underground entrance, which is only going to have 1 fingerprint for us. So just follow the way that I take here. Okay, now we have to hack the fingerprint. I'm going to just pause this and try and explain it to you, because there's a very quick and easy way to do this. So the top of the fingerprint, of course, we can tell it's the top of the fingerprint. Then we want to move down 1 below that one. And in this second slot, we'll put the very top of the fingerprint again. Then we just move right once. Does that make sense? Same thing for number 3. So we go down to the 3rd spot, put the top of the fingerprint there, and then move right twice. Just keep doing that, go all the way down the fingerprint, and it should be very, very quick. Alright, now that we're inside, we can use our cutting torch to break into the vault silently here. Now, on the way out, you actually don't need to kill anyone here, so just take this route I take, jump up left here. And actually just wait for this guard to turn around, and we can run right to the door. Just be careful you don't enter that guard on the left's line of sight there, because he will see you if you go too far left, and then we're out. But now that we're out, we do want to be very quick. We want to take this guard out, standing at the bike, and then steal his bike. As quickly as you can, drive the direction I'm driving. We're just going to go straight off the island. The reason we want to be quick is because there is a car that's going to drive through and detect that guy's dead body. But if we do this quick enough, it won't even matter. So just swim away as far as you can, equip your rebreather if you want, and actually swim towards these 3 mines in the water. That's going to be the quickest way to get out of the mission. So there you go, you've done the Cayo Perico heist. The first time through, you should be able to make about $1.5 million. Every time after that though, it can vary depending on what you actually get in the vault, but normally anywhere between $950,000 to $1.5 million is what you can expect. Now, while we made about $1.5 million from the heist, because this was our first time doing it, we got a bunch of first time bonuses. You can see them popping up on the top right of the screen. And that gave us enough money for me to buy the Sparrow for the cassette car. What that means now is every time I run the Cayo Perico heist, it's going to be a lot quicker because I have a helicopter that can be parked inside the submarine. So that's what I would recommend doing for you. Now, for our next step, we're going to create sort of a trio of making a lot of money. We've got 3 activities that we're going to use. Currently, we've got the Cluckin farm raid and the Cayo Perico heist, but we're going to add one more into that, and that's going to be the Dr. Dre contract. But we are going to need about $2 million to start this up. So what we're going to do is run a Cluckin farm raid, and then run another Cayo Perico heist once it's off cooldown. Because we did it solo, the cooldown is going to be just over 2.5 hours, but that's okay because, as they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. So I'm going to do a Cluckin farm raid and a Cayo Perico heist, and I'll talk to you guys in a couple of hours. Okay, I've got money now. You're going to want to buy an agency. You can do this in Dynasty 8 Executive, and this is the cheapest one. This is going to be fine. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This is a very simple activity to do. It's not like Cayo Perico where you have to do it stealthy. So basically, what I want you to do is finish the VIP contract with Dr. Dre. To be honest, I think you're going to be okay with it. I don't think you need a guide for this bit. If you do want a full agency guide, I will link one in the description below, but for the sake of rags to riches, there's a lot of parts of the agency we're just not going to use. So what is the Dr. Dre contract and how much is it going to make us? Well, it's going to make us $1 million, and it's kind of similar to the Cluckin farm raid, I guess, in the sense that we have a few different setups and then a big finale, but it's not a heist. Anyway, for most players, I'd say this is going to take you about 2 hours, and you're going to get $1 million, as well as a bunch of first-time bonuses. So once you've got your agency all set up, this is going to be our grinding routine. Cayo Perico heist. That's then going to have a pretty big cooldown, 2.5 hours. Then we'll run a Dr. Dre contract, which will take about 2 hours and get us another $1 million. But that's also going to have a cooldown of about 48 minutes. So in that time, we'll run a Cluckin farm raid. And by the time we finish that, our Cayo Perico heist will be off cooldown again, and we can start the loop again. That is essentially the most effective money-making method in the entire game. And you've already got it at the end of episode 2 of Rags to Riches. Don't forget to sprinkle in your acid lab at this point as well, seeing as we've already got one of those, and we can move on to part 3. In part 3, we'll be covering the Nightclub as well as getting your Oppressor Mk2. To wrap up Rags to Riches, we're gonna get you a Nightclub and an Oppressor Mk2. By the end of this episode, you will have absolutely everything you need to make tons of money going forward in GTA Online, so let's go. The first thing you're gonna want to do, of course, is buy a Nightclub. To do this, we're going to Maze Bank foreclosures, and you can see there's 10 different nightclubs to choose from. Now, if you can afford it, I would recommend getting one of the 2 nightclubs in Vinewood. The main reason is it's just a more central location on the map. It's got easier access to the top of the map, which is where you're going to sell a lot of your product, but they are also the most expensive. So if you can't afford it, that's okay. You can get one of the cheaper ones, but basically the further north, the better. As for the upgrades, most of these are just cosmetic, except for storage. Storage will give you more storage to hold more product, as well as an option to add more garage space. Now, both of these I would recommend getting in the future. As for right now, probably not a massive deal if you don't have any other businesses, but after you complete all of the steps in this video, I would definitely recommend going back and buying more storage. Okay, so once we've got our nightclub all set up, we're gonna go inside, we're gonna get a cutscene, and then we're going to need to do some setup missions. So we're going to have to go get our nightclub staff, we're going to have to go steal some equipment, and then we're going to have to go get a DJ. All up, these missions should take you about 15 to 20 minutes. They're not the longest missions, but you do only get to do them once per character, so enjoy them if you haven't done them yet. And once we're back inside, we're going to go to our nightclub computer. This is where it's going to get a bit complicated. Here we have 6 different tabs: home, nightclub management, resident DJ, warehouse management, sell goods, and upgrades. So let's go through them one by one. Home just gives you an overview of how much stock you have and how much money you've made. Nightclub management lets you operate the actual nightclub itself. So here's where I have to do a bit of explaining. Stick with me, this might get complicated, but it's gonna be worth it. The nightclub is split up into two businesses. The actual nightclub itself, up top, and a warehouse where you can sell, let's just say, not so legal goods down below. Right now, we're gonna focus on the nightclub upstairs, which is what this nightclub management tab is. Here you can see our current daily income is $50,000, and our nightclub popularity is full. Both of those are good. When our popularity is full, that means we will be making $50,000 every in-game day, which is 48 minutes in real life. And yes, you do need to be logged into GTA Online for this to actually work. Also, every in-game day, this nightclub popularity is going to slowly start to go down, which means every couple of hours we need to come back and increase our popularity again. So how do we do that? Well, we've got three different ways. The first is by clicking the Promote Club button. That's going to put us in a nightclub management mission that will fill up the bar a little bit. The next way is by going down to the Resident DJ tab. Here we can book different DJs, which will increase the popularity. The first time you book a new DJ, it'll cost $100,000, and that will fully restock that popularity bar. After you've already booked a specific DJ once, you can rebook them again and change DJs for only $10,000. However, that's only going to fill up the popularity bar by 10%. The third way we can increase the popularity is by kicking out troublemakers or escorting out VIPs. Every once in a while, normally about once every in-game day, Marcel, your bodyguard, will tell you about someone in your nightclub that's causing trouble. You can walk over to that blue dot on your minimap inside your nightclub, interact with them, and kick them out of the nightclub. Doing that will also increase your popularity. As you can see on your screen, your safe capacity is $250,000, so make sure to come back every few hours and access the wall safe inside your nightclub to get that money. Now we've got the warehouse management tab. This is for the underground warehouse, and here it gets even more complicated. As you can see, we've got 5 possible technicians and 7 possible products. All of these products correspond to one of the different businesses in GTA Online. Cargo and shipments is either a cargo warehouse or a hangar. Sporting goods is a bunker. South American imports is a coke lockup. Pharmaceutical research is a meth lab. Organic produce is a weed farm. Printing and copying is a document forgery office, and cash creation is a counterfeit cash factory. You can assign 1 technician to each of these products. Keeping in mind you only have 5 technicians out of 7 possible products, so you can't get all of them at once. But there's a few things you'll need to do before you can actually get these products. First, you're gonna have to actually hire the technicians, which is gonna cost a bit of money. And next, you're actually gonna have to own the specific business for the product that you want to get. For example, if I want to get sporting goods, that means I also need to own a bunker that's operational. Now, to clear up any confusion, the product that you earn in that business, so let's say your bunker product that you earn in your bunker, that has nothing to do with the nightclub itself. This is separate. This is money that you can make on top of money that you're already making in those other businesses. So the next steps that we're going to take in this video is, of course, actually buying the other businesses that we need. So which businesses should we actually buy? Well, I'm not going to give you an entire profit breakdown. I don't want to make this too confusing. If you do want like a really in-depth nightclub guide on how to make the most exact money possible, I have made an expert guide that will be in the description below. So if you're just here for the rags to riches, let's just cover the 5 that are going to be most beneficial to you. Those 5 are cargo and shipments, sporting goods, South American imports, pharmaceutical research, and cash creation. So you guessed it, in this video, we're also gonna have to go and buy a bunker, a coke lockup, meth lab, cash factory, and either a hangar or a cargo warehouse. Spoiler alert, we're gonna get the hangar. But before we do that, let's move down to the upgrades tab, and here you can see an equipment upgrade, staff upgrade, and security upgrade. The equipment upgrade will improve the speed that your warehouse technicians get product. The staff upgrade will reduce how slowly your popularity goes down, and the security upgrade will reduce the likelihood of your nightclub getting raided and you losing product. All of these are are useful. I would actually recommend getting them in order that they're on your screen right now. So equipment upgrade first, staff upgrade second, then security upgrade third. But as for right now, that's not so important. This is something that we can do way later once we have the nightclub fully set up. So we're not going to worry about that right now. For now, our next process is going to be getting all the businesses that we need. Of course, we're going to need a lot of money for this. So if you're struggling for money, go back to episode 1 and 2 and keep using those money-making methods to get the money that you'll need for those businesses. So first, we're going to get the bunker. And again, I'm not going to go too in depth with each of these businesses. I have made standalone guides for all of them if you want a more in-depth breakdown. For now, we're just going to try and get you up to speed and get these businesses actually working for you. As for your bunker location, I would recommend getting either the Chumash bunker or one of the ones around the Sandy Shores area. If you have tons of money, the very best location is going to be the farmhouse bunker right here, but it is also the most expensive. As for the upgrades for this one, the only one I would really recommend getting right now is personal quarters. That just lets you have a bed there so you can actually fast travel and spawn there. Once that's done, head over to your bunker, watch the cutscene, do the setup mission, and we can move on to the next step. So once your bunker is set up, here's how it works. You've got 3 different bars in your nightclub: supplies, product, and research. You need to keep that supplies bar full so that your staff inside your bunker can convert those supplies into either research or product. If you head over to your computer in your bunker, you can actually change what you assign your staff to. You can either have them making only products, only research, or both. Product is what you're going to want to do if you want to make money, of course, and research, you want to do that if you want to unlock things like Mark II ammo and different upgrades for different vehicles. Both can be good, but for right now, I would recommend probably doing product, because right now we're just in a money-making phase. We can do research later. Now, to get supplies, you can either steal supplies or buy supplies from your computer. Buying supplies is a lot faster, but it does cost a fair bit of money, so I really wouldn't recommend doing this until you have the staff and equipment upgrades for your bunker. But with how we've got you set up in this series so far, that really shouldn't take you too long, because at this point you should have your submarine, your agency, and the Cluckin farm raid, so you can make $1 million in like 1 hour. Anyway, once your bunker is fully set up, you can head back to your nightclub and assign one of your technicians to sporting goods. And there we go. Our warehouse in our nightclub is starting to become operational. Now we're just going to repeat this process 4 more times. Next, we'll go get a coke lockup, meth lab, and cash factory. We can do this by first heading into Maze Bank foreclosures and buying an MC clubhouse. The one I would recommend is the Great Chaparral Clubhouse. This is the cheapest and it's only $200,000. It's not in the best possible location, but you won't be using this much, so definitely just buy the cheapest one. Then we'll head over to our MC clubhouse, go to the laptop in the clubhouse, and from there we can buy our MC businesses. Now, what's cool about the MC businesses is the cheapest ones are actually in pretty good locations. So we can just go ahead and buy the cheapest coke lockup, meth lab, and weed farm. And then just like the bunker, go over to all of those ones, do your setup missions, then head back to the nightclub, hire the extra technicians, and assign them to those products. Then finally, we have to get cargo and shipments for our nightclub. And to do this, we can either get a hangar or a CEO crate warehouse. Honestly, both of these are really good businesses nowadays. Both of them are good. I'm personally gonna get a hangar. I'm just going to buy the cheapest one down at LSIA. If you have the money for it, I would recommend getting one in Fort Zancudo. That is a better location and it gives you access to the military base. But just for the sake of setting up the nightclub, I'm going to get the cheapest one so we can move this video along. But if you did want to get a crate warehouse, it's a great choice as well. You would need to buy a CEO office in Dynasty 8 Executive first. Then once you have your office, you can go into the office and buy a crate warehouse. Anyway, as I said, both good options. We're just going to go for the hangar for today. Go and complete the setup mission for that one, hire our final technician, and boom, we've got a fully operational nightclub warehouse. From here, you can go ahead and buy your upgrades for all of the businesses if you like. It's up to you if you really want to do this though, because nowadays, just running something like the Cayo Perico heist and Dr. Dre contract is going to be the most beneficial way to make money along with the Cluckin farm raid. And for me personally, I don't really use many businesses other than the actual nightclub itself. but that's all going to be personal preference, so you do whatever you prefer. But in terms of making money, your best money-making methods are going to be Cluckin Farm Raid, Dr. Dre contract, Kaya Perico, and your Nightclub. Now, if you want to end your rags to riches journey here, you can. But for anyone that wants to get a little bit of a crazy vehicle, let's say, we're going to take a look back at last year's Rags to Riches and finish this series off by getting the Oppressor Mk2. So let's do that now. Welcome to the finale of Rags to Riches. Across this series, I've shown you how to go from level 1 up to where we are now with millions of dollars and 9 businesses. So you may be thinking, what else is there left to do? Well, there's one thing. Today, I'll be showing you how to correctly buy one of the best vehicles in all of Grand Theft Auto Online, the Oppressor Mk2. Recently, Rockstar Games has increased the price of this one from $3 million all the way up to $8 million. But there's a way to get it for $2 million cheaper. So I'm going to show you how to do it today, and then your character, along with my character, will have everything they need to make millions and millions of dollars for the rest of time. So let's jump straight in. Here we are on Warstock. The Oppressor Mk2 is $8 million, but you can see the trade price is $6 million, but it's a little bit confusing on how to get it. As we can see here, we know we need to complete 5 client jobs to get this discount, but how do we actually start those up? The game doesn't really explain it too well. Well, last episode, we bought the Nightclub. That's step 1. If you don't have a Nightclub yet, watch this series. I explain how to get every business and which order to buy them in. And once you buy the Nightclub, you have the ability to buy another vehicle called the Terabyte. You can see that one here in Warstock for $1.375 million. Now, not only is this gonna get us a discount on the Oppressor Mk2, but it's also a really good way to make money on its own. So this is a vehicle that you'll want to buy anyway, but buying it now gives us that $2 million discount on the Oppressor Mk2. So let's click here and buy this one, and then this one is actually going to get delivered to the Terabyte garage in our Nightclub. There's a specific garage for this vehicle. If you don't want to go to your Nightclub, you can also request it through your interaction menu by going to Services, Terabyte, and Request Terabyte. If you do that, it'll spawn nearby. Alright, once we're inside, we have to watch this little cinematic here. Okay, now that we're back here, there's a few things. First is over here, there's a little vehicle workshop spot. This is actually the only location you can customize the Oppressor Mk2. And in order to get this, you'll actually need to buy it on the screen where you purchase the Terabyte. It's a specific option that says Vehicle Workshop. So if you haven't already noticed, yeah, you will literally need this vehicle in order to customize the Oppressor Mk2, so you need to buy it. From here, we need to start up client jobs. To do that, we're going to head over to the touchscreen in the middle here, and on the top left, that's where we can start our client jobs from. Now, unfortunately, we don't have access to most of these. If you want access to the rest of these missions, you're going to have to buy the drone station upgrade for your Terabyte. In the long run, this might be worth it. The diamond shopping mission is very, very quick, only about 3 minutes, and it'll get you $30,000. But for now, we can just do the data sweep and the robbery in progress missions because they both pay the same amount of money, and they're only going to take us about 3 to 5 minutes. So let's start up this robbery in progress. So these robbery in progresses are pretty simple. We just have to scroll through the cameras and see which bank on the map is actually getting robbed. Okay, it's the one at Route 68 out in Sandy Shores. Can do. Let's have a look at the interior camera. All right, there's the robber. Okay, we're going to head out there. I'm going to call in my Sparrow, and we'll head out there now. All right, we're launching these rockets in. There's also going to be a Juggernaut on the inside. We'll see if we can take him out with the Sparrow. We'll have to get low to the ground. Nope, the game wants to lock onto the cops. And now it doesn't want to lock onto anyone. Okay, there's another cop down. Steady. Steady. Okay, no, it just doesn't want to lock on. He must be behind the wall. That's alright, let's run in. Oh, he's destroying the cops. Nades. That's going to be our best option. Cops, stop shooting me. Come on. I'm trying to kill this guy. Alright, he's down, surely. Alright, in we go. There's going to be a guy in the vault as well.
Okay, I've got a client who'll take
Yeah, you kind of need to pre-fire that guy because he has a shotgun and he will just destroy you. For some reason, that wall's bulletproof. Actually, you know, it makes sense. It's a bank, right? I almost died there, dude. Sorry, buddy. I'm gonna leave you there. Oh, I almost just got cleaned up by a car. This has actually been quite an eventful, simple mission. Alright, but we should be able to call Lester, lose these cops, and then we just need to head to the destination. And that's it. That's a robbery in progress. They're very, very simple.
Why, hello. How you doing?
Yeah, remove wanted level. Easy.
No problem. I'll get him off your back.
Alright, see you at the destination. And there we go, $31,000. So we do that 4 more times. Well, we'll do a data sweep now, and then we'll switch back and do robbery in progress. We're going to have a bit of a cooldown, though, so that kind of sucks. Now, with these data sweep ones, we need to go around and scan or hack these target vehicles. Hopefully, this is the one here. I just scanned another one, and that wasn't it, unfortunately. Okay, that's the one. Good. Let's hop out here, take these guys out. This one, again, a very, very simple mission. Jump down here. Ow. Oh, okay. So pretty simple. Just steal the vehicle, drive it to the location, and we're going to get our 31K. We'll do another robbery in progress here as well. This one's at the Pacific Standard Bank. So this is the big bank at the top of the city. Same exact thing. There's going to be a juggernaut out front. I just took him out. Now we've got the 2 guys inside. Got the bag. There's probably going to be a lot of cops out here though, so this will be interesting. Alright, see you guys. I'm out of here. Lester, help me, brother. There's too many of them, Lester.
Why, hello. How you doing? How can I help? Okay,
alright, we're good.
I'll get you out of trouble.
And then this should be our last one. I'll need to hit another Cayo Perico heist to get that $6 million. And then we're good to go. Let me just yoink these bearer bonds real quick. Thank you, Mr. Rubio. And here we are, the Oppressor Mk2. And like I said at the start of the video, we are going to want to buy this specialized vehicle workshop. Not only will it store the Oppressor Mk2, but it will let you customize it and put missiles on it, which I'm sure pretty much all of us are going to want. So we'll buy this Oppressor Mk2. Boom. Alright, it's going to arrive in our terabyte in a second, so let's call it in, head over there and wait for it. Oh, it's already been delivered now. Easy. Let's just go in here, request it from our terabyte, and it should spawn nearby. There it is. And there we go. We have the $8 million, now $6 million superbike. Gonna need to put the missiles on it. But what you can actually do is fly it down here into your terabyte, just like that. So you go to the back right of the terabyte and it just stores it inside. It's pretty neat. So if you want to put missiles on it, which I would probably recommend doing, it's gonna be $180,000. I don't have the money for that right now. Lamau, oh well. And there you go. You've got the bike. We have, 9 businesses now, I believe. This series has been a massive success. I hope it helped you out. At this point, you should have everything you could possibly ever want to make money in GTA Online. If you do want to go down the route of getting additional businesses, buying every single property in the game, absolutely go do it. Just run your Cayo Pericos, your agencies, and go ahead and buy things like the auto shop. It's a great business. Crate warehouse, maybe vehicle warehouse, penthouse, whatnot. Lots of more things you can buy. But if we're talking about strictly the best ways to make money at this point in the series, you've got all of them.